Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hoca Talk podcast. My name is Belent and thank you for being here to begin with. And I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to all the support and love shown on the first episode. It has almost 100 views as of the time of recording this, which I was not expecting, and I've got 8 subs and plenty of likes on this. So again, I can't really express my gratitude enough. So thank you all for the love that you have shown, and the link to that will be in the description below if you want to give it a listen to. So today, as you know, we'll be talking about everything and anything. This is an entirely unscripted and unedited podcast, and we're going to be talking all things NBA, F1 and football. Now, I say we're going to be talking all things NBA, F1 and football because I have, as I did say at the end of the last episode last week, a special guest who is going to introduce himself now.
Hello, my name is Ali and I am Belent's brother.
Yeah, he's the first person I asked and the first guest of the Hoca Talk podcast. So, like I said, all things NBA, F1 and football. So we're going to start off with NBA today. Now, this is going to be about 25 to 30 minutes. It's not going to be the same length as the first episode was because that was only an introduction. So, the NBA is in full swing. The play-in tournament is going to be coming up soon in the playoffs. Who do you think is going to win it all? The contenders, I feel, the Nets, the Jazz, the Bucks, Philly, the Nuggets, and the Suns. So who do you think?
Personally, I think it's either between the Jazz, you got Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and the Philadelphia 76ers. They got Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, two top quality players on each team.
Can't argue with that. I don't know. I mean, it could be the Nets. You got to give them the Nets a shout. With James Harden,
the big three.
The big three, yeah, Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Harden's injured right now, but I imagine he will be fit for the playoffs. And obviously, the Nets have got themselves a place secured in it already. As I think the Jazz, the Nuggets, the Clippers, and the Bucks. I don't know. The Bucks haven't got it secured yet, but they probably will.
Yeah.
Tatum's 60 points against the Spurs, as I'm sure many of you know or don't know. I have been following the NBA for a few years now. My father's cousin, as it turns out, plays for the Portland Trail Blazers, Enes Kanter, or as they say in the US, Kanter. And he used to play for the Celtics as well. And they played the other night and lost to the Blazers, but we don't have to talk about that.
10-point years, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a 10-point game. 60 points against the Spurs, the career high for him and the all-time record joint with Larry Bird. So, I mean,
in the Boston franchise. Yeah, astonishing.
Exactly, I mean, and that's some good company to be with as well, Larry Bird. MVP. I mean, there's always discussion for MVP. In the All-Star game, obviously, that went to Giannis, and rightly so. I mean, he didn't miss a single shot, the Greek freak, as they call him, for the Bucks, who I think also definitely with a chance of winning it all. I mean, they got Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis as well, Brook Lopez, although Brook Lopez is not really one you mentioned with the other three I did just then. So, as of recording this, I think the ones that are in the mix for the MVP, Jokic, Curry, Embiid, Giannis, CP3, so Chris Paul for the Suns, who I think are the number 1 seed in the West, yeah. And Luka Doncic for the Mavericks. They're having a good season too in 5th.
Very good season, he is.
So who do you think? MVP.
Very tough question. Probably between Joel Embiid and Jokic. Them two have just been having a season of their career, absolutely dominating the leagues.
Can't argue with that, no. See, I don't know. I think it has to be Curry. You think about it, the man's, how old, 32 or 33?
He's getting in his 30s, yeah.
Yeah, obviously he's not as good. He's much better than his brother even, who's at Philly. I think everyone knows that. But yeah, I mean, Curry, he's been scoring 30-plus games, 30-plus points even, for fun, like there's no tomorrow. And he makes it look so easy and effortless. I mean, he takes shots from the logo of the team in the middle of the court, and I mean, he's a different animal, and you just got to sit back and think, where would Golden State be without him? There's a lot of teams like that, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, another player like Steph Curry, what's his name? Damian Lillard, shooting threes like for no tomorrow, making like he's a day out in the park, shooting threes.
Yeah, exactly,
So
and where would Portland be without him as well? I was a bit like torn in the middle. I mean, I was happy for Enes that Portland beat the Celtics, but I like the Celtics too. I mean, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, Smart, Tatum.
Tatum jersey away.
Time Lord, yeah. My brother's got his own Tatum jersey he had for his birthday earlier this year. Yeah. And I'm hoping to get one myself. I mean, how can we not talk about the Boston Celtics and not talk about Taco Fall? I mean, when that man dunks...
He is a goat.
El Hadji Taco Fall is full on the big 7'5" unit.
He cannot be stopped.
You can't.
Use him on NBA.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you've got 2K21...
Use him.
Put an alley-oop to Taco Fall and...
best rebounder you'll ever use.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I wanted to mention to you the play-in tournament. That's something they brought out this season. So top 6 go straight to the playoffs. But I think it was the top 8 last season. So there's going to be 2 teams fighting for the final 2 places.
7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. For play-ins.
Yeah. A lot of people, I don't know, they're kind of on the fence with it. While I was reading on the NBA's official account on Instagram, I think I'm on the fence about it too. I'd rather it just have been kept as it were last season. Just the top 8 go through, but I suppose you need a way to spice it up, don't you?
Personally, I would say it's good as a viewer watching it. You know, you get more games to watch, more enjoyment, but as like a team, as a franchise, it's not as good because if you get 7 for 8, you're not guaranteed playoffs. You know, you could be knocked out, gone by like a team in 10th. Not the best feeling.
Absolutely not. But I mean, if you don't watch the NBA, just give one game a watch no matter what. I know it's shown on Sky Sports. I know it's late tonight, but you can just record it.
Very worth it.
Yeah, it is worth. I mean, some games, especially when there's a buzzer beater right at the end. I mean, that's just the best. And the fans go nuts because I know fans are going back to arenas there now in the US. Hopefully, they'll be happening here soon as well. I know in England they've started to go back, but not yet in Wales, but hopefully soon. So, that's the NBA. Yeah, like Ali said, he's got his predictions, who's going to win it all. Really, like I said, for me, is a toss between the Nets, the Jazz, the Suns looking good as well. I mean, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, yeah, like you said, CP3. But, and I've not mentioned the Clippers enough yet. Come on now, Kawhi Leonard.
I mean,
Paul George.
They're just all over the place.
Yeah,
really. They have,
inconsistent.
They have their star 2 players, PG, 13 and Kawhi, but apart from that, it's a bit all over the place, really.
And you can't mention inconsistent about the Boston Celtics. I mean,
well, they had 6 wins in a row, then lost 2 to Oklahoma and Portland.
They lost to the Bulls as well,
the Bulls,
and they lost once to the Hornets. So, will the Celtics make the playoffs? I don't know. Miami's holding on to the final spot now. The Celtics will be playing again, I think, on Thursday or Friday morning.
I think if Boston don't make a playoffs, they're going to go through in the play-ins. They'll go through.
Yeah. I mean, a team like that, you expect them to. Anyway, they've acquired, Fournier. I was a bit gutted to see Tice go, but when you got Time Lord, it's not too bad.
Robert Williams, he's so good, man. He's so underrated.
So yeah, like I said, if you don't watch the NBA, give it a watch because you won't regret it. And I'm glad that we've got into watching it a lot more now. And next season, I definitely want to make a fantasy league because we already do that for football and F1. I know you can do that for NBA too. So you got top 3 players this season so far. I know I'm asking all the hard questions, but regardless of like the performance and so on, your top 3.
Like my top 3 favourites, or just...
Or just like players this season that you think have performed.
Devin Booker's really come to shine. He's really good this season. So I put him third. Second, I think the Joker, Nikola Jokic. Yeah. Like I said earlier, first, Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Speaking of Jokic as well, we got to show some love to Jamal Murray as well. When he's going to be back fully fit, I don't know when that'll be, but the Nuggets are going to be a different team altogether.
Breed.
Yeah, Jokic and Murray, good combination. You don't get a better duo than that in the NBA. I don't know, for me...
I have to disagree with that.
Well, I'm not saying they're the best.
I have to disagree with that.
Well, what would you say then? The best
duo? On their day, AD and LeBron.
AD and LeBron. We haven't showed any love to the Lakers yet either, but they're playing it risky though. They are.
Yeah, I know.
They're like 6 or 7 for the minute. Mavericks are ahead of them.
They need Caruso starting all the time.
Oh yeah,
Bald Mamba.
Also, rest in peace to Kobe, man. I couldn't believe what happens, and everyone else who was involved.
Don't want to get too political in that.
No, I know. Anyway, yeah, for me, I don't know. I mean, you got to say Steph Curry.
Yeah,
I mean, he carries the Warriors on his back. If you're a Warriors fan, I mean, you can't disagree with that. He just does. I'm going to be biased and say Tatum, the 60-point game. Does he carry the Celtics, him and Brown?
Brown, Kemba.
Yeah.
Without Tatum, they'd be a different team.
Yeah, absolutely. And fair, Greek freak, Giannis. I mean, the Bucks last season, when Giannis got injured in the playoffs, that kind of affected them. Because you do notice that they're a different team without Giannis.
Well, obviously he's a star man. He's the best player in the league when he wants to be.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Middleton, Drew Holiday and so on are bad players.
Very underappreciated, Drew Holiday.
They are. Jalen underappreciated Brown, like LeBron said. I mean, the All-Star weekend was amazing. I'd watch that again.
Dunk contest was so...
Yeah, the dunk contest could have been better. Who is it? Obi Toppin for the Knicks. The Knicks as well. A very good season. We've got to show them love. I think they're fourth.
And Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, and for Anthony Simons.
Randall. Does he play for them? Or
Julius Randle's there. Randle. He's been having quite the season as well. But I mean, we're talking enough about NBA. We need to move on now. F1. So we're also big F1 fans. My dad got me into F1. Well, our dad, obviously. Michael Schumacher. I mean, he's the GOAT. You can't say that he's not. Don't get me wrong. Hamilton is a very good driver. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but you can't compare Hamilton and Schumacher. And if I offend anyone, I mean, that's just my opinion, and we're all entitled to our own.
I think this is passionately shows is different. When Sebastian Vettel wins a race or when Schumacher won a race, they'd be screaming on top of their voice, exciting through the roof. But when Hamilton wins, he just doesn't show that same amount of passion, and that can really affect people's views on a driver.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's so used to winning, though, isn't he? I think that's a lot of behind it. So the Portimao GP, obviously Hamilton won. Bottas got on pole, but
it's Bottas, what do you expect?
It's third place for Bottas again. I know he's on the podium, but still. And we'll talk more about Bottas shortly, and obviously Verstappen in second. I did obviously want to ask you as well while we're here, will Hamilton win his 8th title and be obviously the all-time holder, basically, no?
I don't know. We're only 3 races in?
Yeah.
It's still a lot of time left. I mean, there's even a chance Nicholas Latifi could win.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
I can't say anything.
I think the main competitors, no offence to Bottas, will be Verstappen and Hamilton.
Yeah.
Verstappen's obviously already won a race this season. It was Imola, wasn't it?
Verstappen, I think. Yeah. Positive.
Yeah, so the Portimao GP, Norris, a very good race as well, third in the championship. Underappreciated Norris. No, you don't think?
No.
All right.
He's overrated.
You reckon?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good driver, don't get me wrong. All the drivers are good. None of them are bad. How would they make it to F1?
Well, Mazepin. Come on, yeah. Everyone's on the fence about Nikita.
He's a good driver, he is. He's under a lot of pressure with what's going on,
Yeah, what happened? I'm not going to mention and go into it, but yeah.
He's under a lot of pressure with what's going on. But I think if he had a bit of a better car, Haas or shocking cars, like always one on the grid.
I do feel for Magnussen getting dropped, though.
Oh, yeah. But, I think, where's Magnussen now? America, isn't he, or something? He's doing Le Mans.
Might be doing some, yeah.
He's doing Le Mans, I think.
Might be, yeah.
But what was we talking about? Bad drivers, and Norris.
I think because he's British as well.
The commentators hype him out to be so much better than he is.
And obviously, as a commentator, you have to be neutral, but you can definitely tell him David Croft and Martin Brundle got their favourites.
They do have a certain favourite. Not going to mention Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
But, no, I think Lando Norris.
Yeah.
He's just a bit overhyped, he is.
Yeah, he's a good driver, though.
They're all good, but his car helps him out a lot.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Now, I'm a Vettel fan. To begin with, I will admit I did like Hamilton, and but I'm not a glory supporter or hunter or whatever. But now I'm a Vettel fan. I have been since his Red Bull days.
If you're a glory hunter, you want to be a Seb fan. I mean,
no, true. Now I wanted to ask you. I know it's early in the season, but will his move? Because obviously he left a Tifosi Ferrari and was replaced by Sainz.
Do you blame him for leaving them?
I don't. I mean, if you watch Drive to Survive, you can see the way the Ferrari treated him on Netflix.
Yes.
I highly recommend it. So will his move to Aston Martin be a good one?
Maybe if he sees it for another season, very good. This season, maybe a bit of a write-off, they're still developing the car.
Yeah.
They've changed all their branding, they can't copy Mercedes this year.
Nope, and obviously that's what Racing Point did last season.
So yeah, I think, give them a season or two.
Yeah.
It'll be worthwhile. He's just playing in the long run, I think.
Yeah.
I just don't want what happened to Seb to happen. No, what happened with Kimi to happen to Seb.
Yeah.
You know, win his world title and just slowly fall to the back of the grid.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, what an amazing race when he won in Texas a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And he said, effing finally and so on. We're not going to swear PG on this podcast, but yeah, I was really happy for Kimi when he won. Obviously now he's at Alfa Romeo.
Oh, I love Kimi, man. He's so funny. But one dislike about him, didn't take the knee. But
Yeah, he probably should have, especially being the oldest driver on the grid, and a driver to
probably look up to him as well.
Yeah, exactly. Drivers like
World
Mick
champion.
Schumacher.
Mazepin, Norris.
I want to talk about the bromance between Mick Schumacher and Vettel as well.
Oh.
I mean, that's just giving me flashbacks of Michael and Vettel.
Yeah.
Michael, obviously, you're not going to be listening to this, but keep fighting, and hopefully you pull through, because, we need to see you, at a race again.
Well, not racing. Maybe I'm
Not racing, but...
what does Nico Rosberg do?
Yeah, he helps out with the F1 team on Sky.
Very good, helpful YouTube videos. Recommend.
Yeah.
Nico
Yeah.
Rosberg.
So, Bottas' final year at Mercedes. Will this be his final year? Now, I'll say why, and you can have your own say then. Last year when Hamilton had COVID, now we're not going to be talking about COVID, obviously, but Russell stepped up from Williams, and Aitken replaced him there for the Sakir race towards the end of last year. And I mean, come on, Russell outshone him. Bottas just couldn't get close to him, and I mean that brilliant overtake.
Yeah.
It was around the outer track, wasn't it? I think if Bottas doesn't provide enough of a challenge, because no offence to the guy, he's a good driver, but it doesn't help he's playing second fiddle to Hamilton.
No, they're using him to help Hamilton win the title. I think if Hamilton win there, that he'd be main driver, first driver, but no, he's working for Hamilton.
Yeah.
I would say something for me. No, you just said Peggy 3. So
Yeah. He's playing second fiddle to Hamilton. So I think his make or break season for Bottas. I don't know how long Toto Wolff and Mercedes will want to keep him on. And there's obviously always talk of George Russell being promoted. Russell, who should have won a race last season at Sakir, but Mercedes just completely ruined that they did for themselves.
Perez won, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. What a drive from Perez.
Lost the first.
Yeah, underappreciated Sergio Perez, and I'm glad he got a seat this season. Obviously, Albon, I feel for him, but he was making too many mistakes.
I don't feel for Albon, People made him out to be such a quality driver. He wasn't getting any podiums, really. I understand what happened, was it Austria with Hamilton and Brazil with Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton, who can't really race wheel to wheel.
He makes some good overtakes, Hamilton, but when it comes to a battle, lap after lap, he'll be put under pressure. Can't handle it.
But it remains to be seen. Will Bottas be given another contract? I don't know if his contract is out at the end of this season, but with all the new changes coming into F1 next year, I'm looking forward to that. And I hope, obviously, with the budget cap as well, it stops the Mercedes dominance, because obviously Red Bull can challenge them, but I do expect Mercedes to win the Constructors again.
Literally 8 years in a row now.
Yeah. But we'll leave F1 there. I might even do a separate podcast altogether with Ali, talking about F1 and NBA and football. But now we're going to get on to football now. As you know, at the end of the last episode, I did talk about Cardiff for a bit. I'm a big Cardiff fan. I'm a Cardiff season ticket supporter as well.
Always rep.
But I've got a Cheltenham Town hoodie on at the moment because I went to uni in Cheltenham. But I'm not a plastic, don't worry. I wanted to start talking about the ESL, the European Super League. What a farce that was.
Don't get me started. That's just a joke.
Well, Florentino Perez still thinks there's a chance he's going to go somewhere, but he's in way over his head. He's, you're an old man.
He doesn't care about football.
It's just about the money.
Yeah. It's just like Man City, isn't it?
Yeah.
Money. Saudi Arabia oil money.
Yeah.
What? I didn't say anything.
Yeah, but Manchester City, they got a Champions League second leg of the semi-final against PSG tonight. Will Mbappe be fit?
It's literally just a fight who has with the two richest teams.
Yeah, I mean El Clasico, basically. Forget El Clasico and El Clasico. So yeah, the ESL, less said about that, the better. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. And the 6 clubs in the Premier League and the other clubs that signed up, they should. You shouldn't have signed up in the first place. But I'm glad, obviously, that I think all but two of them have pulled out. I think Barcelona and Real Madrid are still in it. Obviously, Real will be because of Perez, but the less said about Florentino Perez, the better. I wanted to talk about Daniel Ek, the Spotify founder or CEO, buying Arsenal.
Co-founder with Bergkamp, Henry, Vieira.
Yeah, they're joining in with the bid to buy the club.
Yeah.
I mean, three of Arsenal's perhaps biggest legends.
I think there might have been someone else as well for Arsenal. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Listen, Stan Kroenke, you're not going to be listening to this, obviously. But I mean, come on, you're like in your 70s. You have a net worth of over $8.1 billion. How many more years are you going to live? You know what I mean? You can't take that money to the grave. And Eli and I mentioned this in the podcast that we did last week or whenever it was. You can't take that money with you. And whatever Daniel Ek is, or Elk, I'm not sure what his surname is. We'll call him Daniel from Sweden. Is offering, just take it. Because I see the passion in him. He says he's a fan of Arsenal, and I like the fact that Henry, Bergkamp and Vieira are in on this as well. Yeah. Speaking of Arsenal as well, why they appointed Arteta in the first place, I don't know. Is he an Arsenal legend?
No.
More of an Everton legend, let's be honest. I can name so many Arsenal legends, like the three that are in with this takeover bid with Ek, or Daniel, Vieira, Bergkamp and Henry. So hopefully, obviously, he manages to, again, offer accepted, and the Kroenkes just take a step back from Arsenal.
Leave.
And talking about owners, the Glazers, I mean, we saw what happened on Sunday at Old Trafford. The game was called off.
What's that mean? He has to go, blood. He just has to go.
Exactly. Now, I understand that anger Man United fans have, but storming the ground and causing the game to be postponed, because that's what it was. That's a step too far, I think.
I've wasted 2 subs in my fantasy team.
I know. I had Fernandes, Rashford and Robertson.
I had Fernandes and Shaw.
I mean, I think storming the ground was a step too far. By all means, protest outside. Yeah.
Inside, no. You're going to cause delays in the game then.
Now, on the topic of the Premier League, I know there's obviously other leagues, but I'm just going to be mainly talking about the Premier League here, or we are even. The PL Hall of Fame kit. I mean, that is slick.
That kit is muy caliente.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're even talking Spanish, international, an international podcast. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on that, definitely.
Get in the Hall of Fame.
Now, well, exactly. We're coming towards the end of the podcast now. Like I said, between 25 to 30 minutes at the max. I wanted to ask you, your top 3, like we did with the NBA, players in the Premier League this season.
Bruno Fernandes got to be there. I mean, I don't like the guy. You know, I don't like Man U fans for saying he's the best player in the world or something. He's good, he is. You can't deny that.
No, you can't.
Best penalty taker in the world.
Yeah,
that's about it. But second, I'm trying to think. Jesse Lingard, man. I know the first half of the season we didn't do much. Yeah, and the memes. But the second half, where he's come in on loan at West Ham, you know, he's made them a whole different team. He's taken the Premier League under his wing. He's dominating. He is.
And first?
Not first.
Oh, first. Okay, this is your number 1 now.
Number 1. I gotta go with Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
He's had more assists this season than past 3 seasons combined.
Yeah, him and Son, deadly duo.
They are the best duo in the world right now.
Yeah,
I'm saying. Apart from maybe Lewandowski and Muller. Maybe.
Yeah, Lewandowski should have won the Ballon d'Or. I mean,
he's robbed, absolutely robbed.
He has been robbed, and he's in his 30s now, and he's still banging those goals, and like there's no tomorrow. He's at the top of his game, and one of the best strikers in the world, if not the best.
No cap.
With Haaland, Mbappe.
No. Top 3 strikers. There's Lewandowski, Kane, and Mbappe.
Yeah. But I mean, when Ronaldo and Messi retire, which is going to be a sad day for football. Haaland and Mbappe, yeah.
Sancho as well. Sancho's really good.
Yeah, Sancho, yeah. People who say Haaland, now it goes through me. There's no W in the name.
It might be right. Was it Norwegian?
He's Norwegian, yeah.
It might be right in our language, but
everyone says Haaland.
Nobody's Norwegian here.
No, I mean,
if you are, then props to you, my Norwegian drillers. But you know,
yeah, I mean, if I was going to say my top 3, he's underappreciated. He's not getting enough have a look in. Abiri Eze for Crystal Palace. Him and Ollie Watkins and Saeed Benrahma, they've proved you can make the step from the Championship to the Prem and make it look easy. I mean, Eze and Zaha, you can say that they're carrying Palace by all means because they are.
Oh no, they are. There's no doubt about it.
And I think with Hodgson there, Roy Hodgson, he's a good coach to mentor Eze. He's been in the game a long time. Will he be there next season? I don't know. I mean, he's in his 70s now. He's getting on a bit, but Eze has to be in with a shout. Now, a man who plays for Leeds. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Leeds. I'm a Cardiff fan. You could probably guess why. I'm not. 3-3, I know. Still can't beat us, even though you went up. Rafinha, who joined from Rennes. Yeah. Rafinha, I mean, Patrick Bamford as well has had an amazing season. And I bet Chelsea will be kicking themselves they let him go now, all those years back. Yeah. But Rafinha's been, I mean, I don't know what anyone was expecting, if anything, but the Brazilian right midfielder is... quite a season. He's injured right now, I think. I don't know how long he'll be out for, whether he'll even be back this season, but he's had a very good season as well. And I think on the third one, I don't know if anyone was expecting me to say Mohamed Salah or Mane, but come on, Liverpool just having the season.
Worst title defence.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say Foden, but again,
no.
In a team like Man City, Foden's always going to shine because there's so many world-class players in that team.
I cannot. He's so overhyped. I know you're doing your top three, but who'd you rather have, Mount or Foden?
Mount.
Yeah. The vision, the passing, the dribbling is so much better than Foden. Yeah, Foden has more goals, maybe more assists. I'm not quite sure, but you cannot compare him to Mount. His ball control's world class.
That goal the weekend, he assisted Havertz. Havertz's first one.
He just can't. He's so good.
And you're hoping Chelsea get to the
I want Chelsea to go
because you've got one of Mount's UCL cards on Ultimate Team.
I just like Chelsea. I do. I'm not a Chelsea fan, no, by any stretch of the imagination, but no, they're a good team. They are. I like them.
I wanted to say the final player. Then it might surprise you, Bukayo Saka. For Arsenal, they're number 7. He has to be going to the Euros with England this summer. And we might do a separate podcast about the Euros as well. Why are they still calling the Euro 2020, by the way? It's 2021 now. I know it was meant to be last year, but anyway, I don't want to get off tangent. Bukayo Saka, in an Arsenal team that it's not the best, I mean, they're having one of their worst seasons in as long as I can remember.
True.
I know there's Aubameyang, Martinelli... But
Smith Rowe underrated.
Yeah, Smith Rowe as well. But Saka's been one of the standout players, and I really enjoy watching Saka. But yeah, if I had to say my three, Rafinha, Eze, and Saka.
I know it's a bit off topic. What we're talking about Premier League. But who's your top 3 Championship players?
Championship. I mean, come on.
They're probably going to be making a step up to the Premier League.
If Brentford don't go up, I did mention this last week. Ivan Toney, I really like him. He's caught the Championship by storm, making that step up from Peterborough, who been promoted themselves now.
30 goals, isn't it?
Yeah. You're going to call me biased, Kiefer Moore. I mean, 20 goals. He's probably been Cardiff's best striker, or one of them since Bofford and Chopra. I really hope he stays. Kiefer, if you're listening, please stay.
We love you, Kiefer. But
no. That's
but no. He's Cardiff's first player since Peter Whittingham in the 2009-2010 season scored 20 plus goals.
Yeah, and also rest in peace to Whittingham as well. I can't believe what happened to him in Penarth in that bar. Gone too soon, unfortunately. And the third one, I mean, I don't really watch too much of the Championship. And Bournemouth for Brentford, especially with Watkins and Benrahma leaving. And Bournemouth stepped up.
He's very good, he is. Yeah.
Who would you say then?
My top 3. Third, Kiefer Moore.
Yeah.
Second, Ivan Toney, obviously. Those are the best 2 strikers in the league. Kiefer Moore, maybe not goal-wise, but his ball control, passing there, very good.
Yeah.
João Pedro's a shout, but I'm not going to pick him first. I have to go with Emi Buendia.
Oh, yeah, Norwich. I mean, Norwich obviously they won the league.
As well, but
Todd Cantwell. I'm surprised no one went for him. Or Buendia.
But no, I have to go with Buendia, man. I mean, I don't like him for how he played against us in the first game.
Very well, but...
diving.
Yeah.
But, no, he cannot be stopped when he got the ball. He's stuck to the feet. He's literally a mini
Very
Messi.
agile, yeah.
Mini Messi.
He is Argentine as well, so...
Why...
Oh, yeah. No, you said mini Messi, yeah. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. We're kind of up to 30 minutes now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd like to thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
The first guest. If you want to check out Ali's YouTube channel, I'll link it in the description below. He doesn't make videos. He's got a very good Fortnite video on his channel. Ignore the comments I made on there. I'm just taking a mick. It's,
Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, shout out to him and TC as well, saving Cardiff
love
season. And Neil Harris, if you're listening, probably not, but...
Jump off a cliff.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, you coming to Cardiff was just a car crash in the first place.
Yeah. And you played one game for us, but
yeah.
do anything.
Anyway, I'd like to thank you for being here, if you're still listening. Like I said, Ali's link to his YouTube channel will be in the description below. Is there anything else you want to say?
I'll plug the gram.
Oh, and he's obviously got Instagram as well. I'll drop that in the description too.
Of course I do.
Yeah, I mean, he's 13, obviously. I didn't when I was your age, but I mean, different times now. And yeah, like I said, I'd like to thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning into the Hoca Talk podcast. We'll be back next week sometime now. Maybe with a special guest, maybe without one, we shall see. If you have any topics you want me to talk over, or if you want Ali to come on again, then by all means.
The Discord server.
The Discord server as well. We did set that up.
Well, yeah.
So I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. But anyway, don't want to start waffling now because I did start doing that at the end of the last episode. Thank you for listening to the Hoca Talk podcast. Episode 1 will be in the description below. And again, thank you to Ali for coming on. And thank you for listening. And have a nice rest of your day. Stay safe. And that's pretty much it. In a bit.